So first and foremost, I'd like to welcome everybody to today's presentation. This is a marketplace webinar for the Tickblaze ecosystem. My name is Sean Kozak. I'm the CEO and systems architect within the business. I like to be here and do these presentations because I live and breathe trading. It's what I was born to do. I will die with a chart in my hand, probably. All jokes aside, traders, we're recording the event. We will be here to work with you with questions. My team is here to assist as I do the presentation. If I don't answer your questions, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's because I'd like to get through this presentation in a timely fashion so that you guys can go and live your lives and enjoy the day. That being said, we have a lot to talk about, and it is just the beginning. Flip and Rip is a coined name. It's a brand name that we decided to call this strategy because what happens with strong trending markets is the market gives you one or two little chances sometimes to get into the big rip. Like, how many of you guys have seen it when the market just starts ripping and you literally get a very little chance to get on board the train? Like, sometimes you're like, where did that happen? Like, you ever see the market when it just starts just pumping and like you're like, whoa, like, wow, that market's just ripping. When that happens, you're almost always too late, right? And when you run an algo, you don't miss the move, right? You don't miss those trades. You don't miss the big move. And the reason we call it flip and rip is because there's a pattern that happens every time right before normally a big move happens. And I really do believe that if you're going to run this type of a strategy, you can trade this two ways. You can trade this for very short targets, or you can run this for very large R multiples, have a smaller win rate, but catch the big moves. And it really just depends on how you like to trade. But this is, in theory, a trend trading system. And what we did was we built it as an indicator system and an algo. Some of you may not want to run automated systems, and some of you may want to run the algo. So what we did was we built it as a tool and an algo so that those of you that want to use these tools can choose which one you would prefer to use, right? Now we're going to cover all these today in the PowerPoint and we're going to get started. So quick disclaimer, guys, if you guys can do me a favor and just look at that. I'm not here to give you advice. It's last thing I want to do is pretend I can guarantee you anything other than my time. I'm not your broker or your CTA, and I can't promise you the heavens with performance. But what I will do is I will die trying to help you become better at this business. So if you can give me a why that you accept the risks, that way I know that you can move forward like a professional. Yeah. Fantastic. Good. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk a little bit about what we're even doing here, right? I am not big on fluff or bullshit. So if you're here for the very first time, yep, I can be pretty raw sometimes. Why? Because trading needs to be about realism. Like there's so much bullshit in this industry with influencers and fake gurus and all that stuff. I've been building systems for 15 years. I've got 20 developers globally that work for me. I've built trading platforms. I don't approach the market from a I need to make money as an influencer and hopefully sell my course type of thing. I build systems. I build software. Whether you use them or not, that's your choice. I never bring a product to market unless we can validate its performance. I never bring a product into the marketplace unless I believe traders could make a lot of money with it or use it efficiently. And basically, what we're going to do today is we're just going to get right into the details, right? Like, this is not some shiny object. There's a merit behind the signal. There's a reason we build these types of strategies. And my goal is to show you the entries, the exits, the system, the signals, the performance over the last several months of trading. And then at the end of the webinar, if you like it, great. If you don't, Bob's your uncle. You don't need to buy it. It's that simple, right? How many of you guys agree with that philosophy? Can you guys get down with that, right? I am here not to give you fluff or snake oil. I am here to show you the sizzle. If you don't like it, don't eat the steak, right? I think that's a pretty good way of approaching the business. People tend to like it. It's real, and it's why we've been in the business for a very long time. Great. So what you may or may not know is oscillators are used 90% of the time wrong, right? They're used wrong. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that. Do this and pull this up. So what do I mean? You say, what are you talking about, Sean? I'm like, what do you mean an oscillator is wrong? How many of you guys have heard of an RSI before? I know it's a pretty basic question. Realistically, how many of you guys have heard of the RSI? Yes. Relative Strength Index, right? So what is it used for? You've got an oscillator, right? Right? The oscillator is going to go like this, right? Whatever it does, like come up like this, right? Does like that, and there's a midline here, right? What are they used? Dan says trends, momentum and strength. Okay. Ryan says reversal points. Okay. Well, let's just go back to just understanding indicators are a tool that are used to tell us something about price. And a lot of times there's overbought and oversold levels, right? Most people use an indicator because they think, wow, the indicator's here, I'm going to buy. Oh, the indicator's here, I'm going to sell. What they don't realize is that that's not how the tool was originally designed. Like most people don't realize that that's the wrong way to use the RSI. It's not that it's wrong in that you could use it that way. But if you go and you study the CMT designation, if you go and actually become a CMT, a chartered market technicians, it's like you go and write your exam to be a CFA or an accountant. In trading, it's a CMT designation. And it's a boring test. I've seen it. It's a freaking massive exam. And all it is like massive, massive, massive amounts of questions around indicators and stuff about portfolios and blah, blah, blah. But one thing they do well is they teach you how the indicators were built and what they're designed to do. And if you took a CMT designation and you wanted to become a chartered market technician, you would learn that the RSI is not built for overbought and oversold. What is it built for? Crickets here? Anybody? What is it built for? What do you think it's built for? Momentum. So where would we be measuring momentum? The midpoint. The RSI is built around the 50% line. The midpoint is everything about the RSI. And so if I have an RSI, okay, and I got a midpoint, as the RSI goes like this, pulls back, goes like this, pulls back, pulls like this. What do you think is going on in the market in order for the market to go from here to here or from here to here? Wouldn't you think that if the oscillator comes here, pulls back right above the midline, and then goes this way, what do you think had to happen with the market? If the oscillator crossed the midpoint, pulled back, didn't cross it, and then dropped, what do you think happened in the market? If the indicators go in that way, where do you think price went? Ah, that's what this software is designed to do. We found a way to increase the parameters. We want to increase the lag, meaning we don't want the oscillator crossing the zero line. We don't want it breaking the midpoint every single time. We want to identify when the market pulls back and maintains its strength without crossing the midpoint for really fast trend continuations. And you'll see here that this is not a standard RSI. This has been modified with the settings to give us a much different read of the 50% line. Now, you could go and take an RSI and tweak it. Sure, that's fine. But what we did was we tested it on time charts, Renko charts, range charts, volume charts. And when you use the RSI, specifically the RSI, not the MFI, not stochastics, not the CCI, not all the other oscillators that do momentum, but specifically the RSI, when you use it with Renko charts, it gives such a freaking clean opportunity for a flip and a rip. So when the market's coming down, push, 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 we will plot the dots when we get the signal and you get the trades. You get a trade, you get a trade push. And so what we did was we built a tool to identify the best pullbacks because not all pullbacks are treated equal. In fact, we found this building divergent systems. And I said, holy, like that's a really good momentum system. I said, if we can catch that with an algo, you're going to get really great trading conditions because momentum systems are really hard to get the fills. Let me explain this. When you are on a right side of a trend and the market starts moving, it's hard for the pullback to come back and fill your orders. So we want to be on the bus as it's leaving the station. And that's exactly what this system is designed to do. Now, I'm going to go over all of this. I'm going to talk about how we built it. I'm going to talk about the algo engine. I'm going to talk about the signals. I'm going to talk about how we automate the signals and everything. But then we built a bunch of templates for the algo traders in here because then you can see that it actually makes good money. And we will give away a free license at the end of the presentation. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think you guys are going to love it, especially if you're trend traders in here because it's super clean. It gives really powerful trade signals, and it's just really good at making money. Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over that. You guys good with that? You guys good with that agenda? Okay, great. So I'm a big component of understanding the difference between humans and computers. And I've been a trader since 2014. I've I've been in the trenches a very long time. I've seen every strategy that you could possibly imagine in the world that has ever existed and will ever exist. I've seen it. I make it my business to understand the strategies, the platforms, the indicators, the tools. But one thing that I can never fix is humans. I can't change humans. Humans have what we call emotions. We have ego. We have processing. We have cognitive load. We have different experience levels. We have different skeletons in our closets, as you will say. And when you're trading as a manual trader, you can make a lot of money as a manual trader, but you got to get your house in order. You got to figure out how to handle your emotions. You got to figure out how not to miss too many trades if you can't see the signals. You have to figure out how to execute properly. You definitely need to have a trading plan. If you're going to be a manual trader, you better believe you need to spend time back testing, manually marking up your charts. You have to allocate time in your business to doing that. And you better believe that the hardest part about trading is conditions. Every single day, the market changes. Every single day, the market changes, which means you will make a lot of mistakes. And it's hard to build a business when you're trying to fix yourself at the same time fix your strategy. How many of you guys would agree that manual trading brings a different level of attention? You have to get good at this business. I always like to use the analogy that you need to have a good strategy and you need to have a good emotional control, which equals good trading. If you have a great strategy, but you're all messed up, well, you're not going to make any money. And if you have a terrible strategy, but you've got a handle on yourself, well, you're still going to lose a lot of money. You need to have two things to make money in this business: a great trading system and a great personal control. And so when we start looking at automated systems are normally used by professionals. Most retail traders don't come in and just run algos, but I wish they did because automated strategies can do a lot for you if you are new to trading or if you are ultimately new to understanding the market. Now, that doesn't mean you can just turn on a robot, let it trade for you, and it's going to make you a millionaire. That's far from the truth. But what automated trading does is it will help you increase your speed and your accuracy. You're never going to get rid of your emotions, but you will minimize them. Having an algo, you don't have to worry about moving orders and doing different things and all that stuff. Like you literally just need to plug it in and to know how it works and make it work. But really what made me become an algo trader and an algo developer, as you will, is the data. Everything is about the data. And why is it about the data? Because for me, and I can only speak for myself, trading is about belief systems. Whenever I go to trade a strategy, I have to believe in it. If I don't believe in it, there's a 99.9.99999% chance I'm going to lose a lot of money trading it. And maybe the next guy won't. If you don't believe in your strategy, you're not going to make money with that strategy. Well, what causes belief? What do I need to do for you to believe in the trading system? Maybe you guys can answer that in the chat box. What is going to make you believe it? Sharpshooter says seeing it. Okay. Brent says I need to see the wins. Proof with a back test. Show me that it makes money. Results. Right. So when you look at manual trading and then you look at automated trading, as a manual trader, you need to manually backtest hundreds of trades or 10 trades, 20 trades, 50 trades, 100 trades, whatever it is you need, but you need to do the work. And most people cannot give me accurate back tests because maybe you screwed up your entries on one trade and maybe you missed a trade on the other day and you didn't take all the trades. Your data is always skewed, always, always, always skewed as a manual trader, which means even if you do the back testing, there's a good chance there's going to be a variance in your data. There's going to be discrepancies in your data, which means you're really gambling as a manual trader until you can prove to yourself with data that you have an edge. Automation, as long as you can turn it on and then press play, you can generate a back test that tells us a million times more data than the manual trading strategy could ever do. Now, a back test is not the future. A back test is not going to provide proof that the future is going to make you a lot of money. But I don't care about what happens in the future. What I care about is not trading a strategy that didn't make money in the past either. Because let me explain something. Why the hell would I want to put hard earned risk capital in the market if I didn't even know if it made money yesterday or not? Would you? Like, would you want, if I came to you and I sat you down, we had coffee at Starbucks, I said, hey, Joe, I got a cool strategy. Just trade it. You're not going to go and trade it. You're going to say, well, how did you do yesterday? I say, I don't know. Well, you're not going to go trade it. As a back test, you have the evidence that at least you had proof that historically there was a chance that the system made a lot of money. Then the goal is to make sure that you can apply it in the right conditions moving forward. Some strategies are meant for trends. Some strategies are meant for oscillating markets. Some strategies do both. Some strategies are momentum. Some strategies are mean reversion. It don't matter because we optimize it for the conditions and for the right parameters. My goal today is to let you follow the rules. I'm going to show you how to turn the machine on and I'm going to show you how to do everything you need to do. You don't need to do a damn thing other than learn how to turn it on and then understand what it's doing. How many of you guys would like to see a strategy that went up and to the right with lots of money? Yes? Exactly. You came here to make money. Everybody did. Well, that's what we do. That's what our business does. I'm in the business of helping people make lots of money, which is why we have a great business because our solutions work. So let's get into it. Now, make me a promise. I want everybody here that's new. This is all you new guys in here because there are a lot of new traders coming in. I want you to make me and everybody in here, and then more importantly, yourself, a promise that you will not trade a strategy that you do not have data to support your risk. Can you guys put a yes in here that you will live by that promise? Promise me that you will not approach the markets unless you have data that supports your strategy. Don't buy a prop firm. Don't pay for accounts. Don't follow an influencer and buy into the sizzle. Don't even buy prop accounts from our prop firms until you're ready to at least show yourself that you've got some data to help make a decision. Why? Because it's not healthy. We're going to show you data on our systems so that I can help you lighten the load. Okay. Now, this is the signals. What a clean chart. Like, I've never seen a cleaner trading chart in my life. Like, tell me that's not clean. That's pretty clean. Like, that is not a messy chart, right? Like, all you have is bars and an oscillator. The oscillator has been tweaked. We've increased the parameters so that it's a much bigger setting. And we use certain Renko bars. So the Renko bars are a part of the way in which we do this. I'm going to give you a document today that's going to show you how to use conversions on the bars. We're going to get into that in a bit. But you're going to see here that This did not produce a signal here, but this did because of the relationship to the pullback. This here crossed the midpoint, which means momentum is not the same on this as it is to this. This here crossed the pullback, no signal here. There is no signal here because we crossed this. The signal is in the sweet spot. This strategy is designed to flip and rip. That's what this system is designed to do. The flip gives you minimal time to get in, sometimes 1-2 bars. And then if you're a manual trader, there is no chance in hell on the NQ that you are catching the entry right here. Not a chance. No way. There is no way you are getting into this system or any system on the NQ or the Russell or the YM. And when you have 2 bars to make a decision and it flips and it rips, but you're going to catch monster legs when you use the right software that can do that for you. Now, here's some videos of it live. This is the indicators. Okay, so this is the indicators. So watch, it's just going to plot the signal on the bar. It moves. The bar moves. See how fast that was? Like, you're not getting into that unless you have a strategy or at least a tool to show you where it's doing it. Right? So this is going to basically just trade and you're going to watch it. And I like to do demos. I like to show the software in action so you guys can see it because we don't do trials. So it's nice for you to actually see what it's doing. And yeah, I mean, look at the bar is going to go up and down. It's going to trade. It's going to do its thing. And then when the certain conditions are met, you're going to get the bar trigger. And then when the signal happens, it just plots little dots and arrows on your chart. It helps you with identifying where the trades are supposed to be without a whole bunch of stuff mucking up your charts and clouding out your screen real estate, right? A messy chart is normally a messy trader. And I do believe in sometimes the best strategies are the simplest logic. You don't need all the fancy massive stuff. Sure, there's a time and a place for it. But like you can see how clean those setups are. Like this is a setup right here, the entry is right here, and the entry is right here. And the reason is that where the pullback happened relative to the oscillator. And so let's do this one over here. You'll see it is another example of some long setups. Yeah, this is on Renko charts. It doesn't work the same on time or volume. You could use it on a volume chart, but the issue with volume charts and all of that is that the bars are always variable range, so the stop sizes are always changing. And so if you're going to try to build a system where your money management's dialed in, you want to use a tool that allows for less variable changes, right? And that's why time charts. I know time charts work well sometimes, but it's hard to plan your position sizing around a variable that's changing all the time, right? Now let's take a look at yeah, you can use 2 algos. What's nice about Tickblaze is you can have 10 different algos running on 10 different strategies with 10 different markets on 10 different accounts and 10 different prop firms. We are the only platform in the industry that can do that. That's part of the architecture around the platform. Yeah, you can't do that on Ninja or Quant Tower or MetaTrader or TradeStation. Like we're the only platform that allows for multi-prop, multi-system, multi-algo. And we also allow for portfolio level infrastructure, which means you can trade 10 strategies simultaneously across hundreds of markets. We're actually meant for institutional hedge funds, but we brought the platform into retail and we spend a lot of time building retail products for retail traders. Yeah. So for those of you that don't know much, yeah. So I'm just showing you the software as it's working. Like my job is to just show you the tool in action. So I'm just playing it here for you guys just to show you the dots and the bars, and then we're going to get into the algo side of things, okay? Because as an indicator, this is it. This is what it's doing. And what's nice is we've priced the indicator very inexpensive, so it doesn't cost a lot of money. So if you want to use this, you don't have to spend a lot of money. It's a very inexpensive tool, but it can be very profitable for you without spending a lot of money. How many of you guys like to save a lot of money? Yes, I'd agree. We made it so we'll talk about the Tickblaze web after because it's different. It's very different than the desktop. So we're going to talk about that. Yeah, this is meant for the desktop application at this time. Yeah. But we'll talk about the Tickblaze web in a second. Yeah, well, the exits are as an indicator, that's the subjectivity mark. As an exit, it's really wherever you want to exit. As an algo, the algo will pre-program the exits. This is the indicator. We'll get into the algo next. Yeah. Yeah. The indicator, I'm just showing you the tool working. So this is me just showing the tool working. But what I want to do is I want to spend most of the rest of the presentation going over the algo, which is where you can dial in your exits, etc. Yeah, we will, Hassan. Yeah, we'll go into that. Yeah. So for the flip and rip algo, let's just kind of go through a checklist of what it is. We're going to talk about the algo. The last couple of videos were just the signals, but in order to run an algo, you need a signal. So the signal is what you pre-program into an algo. An algo has a lot of different components. An algo is a short acronym for automated system or algorithmic trading strategy, but saying algorithmic trading strategy three times is too long. So we call it an algo. Now, you've got high probability entries. Well, everybody and their dog is going to say, "Oh, I got a really profitable strategy." Like, who isn't going to try to boast their tools, right? Well, for us, high probability is backed by data. So, in order for us to stand behind a high probability strategy, we have a dedicated team that literally all they do is optimize systems. Like we pay them a salary to work for our company, and their job is building and optimizing automated strategies so that we can build systems and we can sell those systems to the retail trading community. So, yes, it is a high probability setup. The goal is to capture momentum early and trade trending directions. The nice thing is that you can trade this on small time frames or large time frames. So the frequency will be based off the bar size that you're trading, right? So you can be fast or slow depending on how big of a time frame you want to trade. And the goal of an algo is it's going to be very fast with your execution. You're going to execute clean setups. You won't miss trades. It'll get you in without even paying attention. You could be looking at the door because somebody knocked at your house and all of a sudden the system executes. It's not going to make mistakes like you would. And it's built for scalpers. This is a day trading system. It is not meant for swing trade. You could use it swing trading, but automated strategies, especially for prop firm traders, are normally going to be gravitating around scalping or day trading, etc. Now, the goal is that you're on the right side of the market. As a momentum trader, you're not trading against the move. Okay. You are trading with the flow. And you won't be taking entries in flat conditions because the way the oscillator works, the oscillator will only work in those right conditions because you need movement to produce the setup. The setup will then give you qualified entries. And so the goal here is quality. Like everybody trades pullbacks, but you could have a trend, right? And you have one, two, three, four pullbacks. Nobody knows which pullback has a higher probability of working or not. So the goal is always to try to increase the probability of the setups, which gives better quality to the trade. And for timing automation, that's why we use algos. Like it's all about timing the signal, the entry, the execution, which ultimately plots your stop loss and your target simultaneously. When we get into an entry and it plots an entry, the system will plot the entry and it'll execute the trade. At the same time, it's going to pre-populate a target and it's going to pre-populate a stop loss. And all through that, it's going to do your money management. It will automatically calculate your contracts. It'll update all of your position sizing on the fly. Every single trade you take, you do not have to do anything other than set the risk. Let's say you want to set $200. You're risking $200 per trade. Great. You plug it into the settings. It'll basically every single trade, it'll adjust the position size. You won't have to do a thing. It's just automatically going to do everything for you. Does that make sense? And it's 100% great for prop trading. So why do I say that? Well, a lot of prop firms, they don't like algo trading. Well, we have what we call an on-off switch. So you can actually turn the algo off and you can control the system, which means it's a semi-automated control system, which means you're compliant for firms that are a stickler for automated systems. There's some firms that love algo trading, and then there's some firms that don't prefer it. This is not if you were to really kind of prove to them that you could use this for prop trading, you can show them that this is more of a signal system and you can automate the entries if you choose, which allows you to be completely in the clear for all prop firms. Does that make sense, guys? Give me a yes if that makes sense. All right, so here's the algo. The algo is going to plot entries on your chart. Okay. It will give you the entry. You can see this is a 1 bar flip and rip. It flipped and then it ripped. It's that simple. Clean entries. There's the stop. There's the target. Here's another one for shorts. You can see that, no other signals on the chart because the oscillator doesn't give the move. Gives you a really clean entry and push. Here's another one, back-to-back long trades. If the market's moving, you're going to see it. Now, it didn't take this trade. It didn't take this because look what happened on the oscillator. Momentum did not give you the follow-through. And that is why the system will execute the right trades. It will only take the trades based off the logic. Here's another example of back-to-back short trades. You'll see how it just stayed out of this bullshit in here. Like this, all this noise. That's what I love about setting this. And the only way you're going to do that is if the RSI is changed. Default settings on an RSI is not going to give you the parameters that we have built for the algo. And what's really cool is because the algo allows you to test, you can optimize the RSI parameters. Let me talk about this for a second. The ES, NQ, crude oil, gold, Apple stock, whatever you want to trade, right, is all different, which means if you set your charts up to, let's say, I'm going to trade the S&P. Great. So you get the S&P cooking and it's really, really looking good. And then you go and you try to trade the NASDAQ. Well, I can promise you right now that the exact same settings on the S&P are going to blow up and you're going to lose everything you've ever done on the NASDAQ. It's not the same market. Momentum doesn't move the same. Price doesn't move the same. Everything is different, which means how would you know what settings to plot? How do you know which pullback it is? Well, the algo engine within Tickblaze, our testing component, you can optimize the RSI, which means you can run a back test and our optimizer will tell you how to use the best parameters. So you can set the S&P up properly. You can set the NASDAQ up properly. That's why we do this, so that we can make sure that each market, we have the dialed in settings. And we want to make sure that it's completely dialed in. Does that make sense? That gives us power. That gives us the power so that we don't trade the wrong settings for the wrong market. And it's also designed to keep us out of the slop. This is considered chop. And because the strategy is designed to only trade when we're in the right conditions, that's that. We're catching the right moves, and I love it. This system will keep you out of the chop. It is designed to keep you out of the chop. That's why we built it. So let's keep going. Here's another example of longs and shorts. You can run this completely just on autopilot. It'll just take trades in the right locations. You can trade it on a quick chart. You can have one EMA on there for a filter if you choose to, or you don't even need a filter. You can test with filters, no filters. We've done all that for you, but yeah, you're going to be in really good standing with this. Here's a great example of just riding both sides of the wave. And what's really, really cool is that let's say you have a daily goal of like $1,000 for the day, right? Let's say your daily target's $1,000. And if you have 5 accounts, right, that's $5,000 in a day, right? Very common for prop traders to try to make $1,000 on their leader account. So if you're running a prop firm, let's say you're using Prop Shop or using, Funded Next or Elite Trader Funding or whatever you want to do, right? You can set this up where you stop trading at your target. We can get you to a goal. And I encourage that. I think that a lot of traders, that when you're trading the systems, you don't just leave it trading all day. You hit your target, leave. Why? Because the strategy is going to do what you need to do. And when it's done its job, then go do the rest of your day. You don't need to be trading all day long. The system is going to give you lots of trades throughout the morning. It's built for a lot of activity. Here's another example of it just trading. Like, it's just awesome. Like, why I love this is that it doesn't trade every single move. It only trades in the right conditions. Now, it has to a lot to do with the RSI. The RSI and the Renkos. Let's not lose sight of the Renkos. Does that make sense? So I'm going to give you a tool here, guys, that we've built. We've actually built a tool. Um, well, let me give me 1 second here. I got to check to see I have it. But this is a great example of and our algos have a profit and loss box down here, which will basically show you your P&L. It'll show you your P&L for the session. It'll show you open P&L on your trades. So you can watch the strategy performance, let it run, so to speak. Okay. And this is what it looks like over multiple days. Like it is just a very, very freaking profitable strategy. Like I'm so glad we built it because a lot of traders don't want complexity. They want simplicity. They want to trade a system that just gets them into a moving market, give me some money, and then done. How many of you guys are tired of complicated strategies? Hey, how many of you guys get sick and tired of all the complicated things out there? Like this guy, like I've seen so many videos of traders, and within 10 minutes, I'm so lost, I don't even understand what the hell they're doing. Now, that doesn't mean they don't make money. I just, nobody realizes like that's not necessary. Like it's overkill. And so I'm a big believer of simplicity leads to profits. But let me just explain here. I'm gonna stop sharing for a second. Give me 1 second here, guys. I'm gonna load a document that I'm gonna give you guys. And this is something that I've built over the years. 1 second here. So I built the document. I'm gonna just grab it here. I'm gonna give you guys the link. Bear with me here. Bear with me. Okay, I'm gonna share the screen. And here we go. So can you guys see this? So I built a document. I'm going to share this with you guys. Um, and it's open for you guys to have. It's I spent a lot of time building this. And let's take a look here. You guys can click on it, make a copy. Okay, this is make a copy of this document. Make there you go. You can click on it. So if you click on this, yeah, no, this is current. This is the current one. This is why it says current up here. Yeah. And what I did was this document is using conversions, right? Yeah, if it's not in English, then it's because I'm down in Mexico, so my IP address is probably changed to Spanish, right? But anyways, the data is the same, right? I've got it down by the S&P, the Nasdaq, the RTY, the Russell, GC, and what we're doing is we're just showing bricks. So this is the brick size, the reversal size, and then just different offsets. So if you're wondering like what's close to a 15-minute chart or what's close to a 5-minute chart or that type of stuff, you can use different Renko sizes for the algos. And yeah, you could basically just use this as a guidepost because ultimately this here is the Renko bars that we use. And yeah, not all bars are created equal. Not all bars are created equal. So let's go through some demos example. Let's watch it trade. This is us trading the system here. So let's just watch this here. So it's just running. This is the algo now running. It's going to basically execute. Look how fast it gets you into the trade. You don't even realize the market's moving. It's going to give you a flip and it's going to give you a rip. This is just having two markets simultaneously trading side by side. You could literally just set it up like this every single day. Just turn it on and just trade like this. That's it. Done. You could be done for the day. Literally two trades. If you're running a trade copier across five accounts, you're done. That's simple. Here's another example of the S&P and the Nasdaq just doing different examples. So you can see here that and sometimes the market's fast, right? So you can't catch it if you miss the move. right? So there it is. And you can just see here, there it is, boom, boom, back to back. If the market's moving, you need to be in the trades. And it'll just run like an auto trader, just pop. And I mean, that's pretty damn good, right? I mean, 1,500 here and 300 here. And I don't think Jeff's risking more than like a couple $100 per trade, right? Right. Let's take a look at this one here. This is another one. Just different examples. We just filmed a bunch of live trading examples showing the execution. Like it's not going to make you crazy. You're just going to see the reversals happening, and when the right conditions are aligned, it's going to take the trade. I think it's great for new traders. It's a very simple, profitable strategy that you don't really need to figure out like all the complexities of different this and different that. And there's very little settings to manage. You do not have to worry about a whole lot of settings. It's very, very basic to set up. And we will teach you that tomorrow. Our development team is going to run an automated AMA. So they're going to run an AMA with you guys to be able to, an AMA stands for Ask Me Anything. We'll run a Zoom class with you guys on how to set the system up and how to turn on the software and how to use it. Oh, Jeff says the AMA is Friday. That was my mistake. So it's on Friday morning. Yeah. So basically, these are just examples. Here's another example of on the NQ. Sharpshooter says, you don't even need a brainstem to make money with this algo. Exactly. This is it just really works well. And long and behold, you could trade for much larger targets. Like you don't have to get out here. But what we realize is that certain strategies make a lot of money with certain targets. So the goal is for us to be able to test. Remember what I said? What's important? Data, right? Well, a lot of people say, "Oh, I only trade for 2 to 1." Okay. Well, if I run the strategy and 2 to 1 says I make no money and 1 to 1 says I make all the money, well, then I should be trading 1 to 1, not 2 to 1. A lot of people are just guessing with their exits. Exits is the only way you make money. You don't make money on the entry, you make money on the exit. And if you do not have data to support the exit, you don't have a strategy. So what we normally like to do is we want to understand optimizing the exits. And the stop loss. We want to optimize these red dots here and these green dots. So what we will do is we will explain to you the best stops and targets. We will share with you the best parameters that we've tested. And you'll also find that you might want to test yourself and run a back test. We're going to teach you how to do that so you can actually do it. Here's another example of, the NQ on a different example right here. The indicator does not do stops and targets. It's just a signal generator, Brent. Yeah, that's the reason. It's just meant for signal generation. Yeah, because stops and targets are subjective to a manual trader. Algo trading is not. Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about performance. So I made a claim at the beginning of this presentation about no bullshit, no fluff, no funny biz, right? Well, for years before we acquired Tickblaze and before we expanded the platform offering, I was a very large software developer on the back end of NinjaTrader. We built probably top 3 largest marketplaces in the industry out of 400 companies. We basically made our fame to claim through algo development on that platform. And we rebuilt their entire backtesting engine. Like we rebuilt NinjaTrader's entire backtesting engine because there was very limited. When we basically decided to buy Tickblaze as the company and build the platform and basically expand our company, we knew that we wanted to expand the algo infrastructure for traders. So we invested millions of dollars into the technology and we spent years building the infrastructure to build what we call an algo engine. The goal of the algo engine is purely to generate alpha. It is the sole function of our company and our team when it comes to automated systems to build alpha. Alpha is the efficiency of profitability, your expectancy. It's also about reducing losses, increasing profitability. Alpha is not just about money. It's about taking the best of the best out of what's possible. So how do I identify the best sizing? How do I identify the best stop loss placement? Where is the best targets? Where do I make the most money? Trading at what times during the day? How much money management should I use in the strategy? Should I use any filters like trend, momentum, market structure, everything to do with bias? And then what we do is we build the signal and we plug the signal in, and then we run a bunch of tests here across all the different variables so that we can find alpha. And then once we know we've got alpha, we know we've got a great strategy. That is what we've done. And we've done this for years, and it's worked very, 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 very well. Now, the second part of our company mandate is to help you understand how to generate alpha. I understand that the majority of you are going to want to just take a strategy out of the box, plug it in, and let it play and make a lot of money. Who doesn't? I also want six-pack abs, and I want it in 5 days or less. But the goal here isn't to just give you it. I also think giving you the strategy, and then I also think it's important to teach you how to turn it on and how to adjust the settings and how to understand how to produce gold. I will give you the gold today, but I also want to show you how to mine for more gold, right? Which means if you want to understand how to test the strategies, you can. And we will run that in our AMA. So on Friday, when we run the AMA class, we're going to show you how to use this cutting edge piece of software. And the reason this software is cutting edge is because there's no one else in the entire world that's ever built something like this. We have a piece of software that takes a strategy and makes it more profitable, right? So let me give you a question. How many of you guys would not agree that if I could take any strategy and make it more profitable, that would be an amazing thing? Yes? How many of you guys would think that if I could take any single strategy and make it more profitable? That's what this software is designed to do. And every single algo we sell you or give you or provide you, it comes with the algo engine. You don't have to buy this. This is a part of the technology, which is so why our algo offering is such a huge value proposition, because we pretty much give you everything inside the system. It's a part of the tool, right? And so I'm just super excited because you can generate stuff like this. Like this system, this is the S&P. So the S&P on a 5-brick Renko with a 10-tick reversal, okay? This is an S&P chart. And what we did was we ran it from a month. This is the last month. We took 90 trades, right? Pretty even distribution, 49 and 40. And we had a 93% win rate, okay, with a 3.5 profit factor. Now, I'm here to tell you that that's awesome. Like, that's amazing. Okay. And so I don't know about you, but if your equity curve goes up and like that, that's the job. That's our business. That's what we want. We want to see you guys make money, right? So this is the strategy for the S&P. And this is the S&P for the last month. This was the setups. This was the algo running on this market, right? Every single day, boom, 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 all the way up. Okay. And that's it. Now here's the NQ. Now this one took 55 trades, 50 tick bar, 100 tick reversal. Okay. This one had a 94% win rate. And basically it had a 4.5 profit factor. Shit, that's amazing. That's incredible, right? Now you might have a losing day once in a while. Like I'm not going to sit here and promise you. I'm not here to lie to you guys. I don't do that. I don't do fluff. I don't do bullshit. Trading is not about perfection. It's about consistent expectancy. So if you have a loss, great. If you have a losing day, great. I can promise you they're far and few between. So you will face losses as a trader. Write that down. That is part of the business. But our job is to minimize them as best as possible so that we can run a profitable business using automated systems. And so this is the NASDAQ, right? And this is basically it across the whole month. Now you can run the S&P on one chart, you can run the Nasdaq on another chart, you can run crude oil and gold and the euro. You can do it all. You can run this on stocks. You can run this on CFDs, crypto, whatever you want, as long as you have a data feed inside of Tickblaze, which we do. We have access to data. You can run it for prop firms. You can run it on your brokerage account. You can do whatever you want, right? Just depends on what you want, right? And there's no limitations. So, like I said, I'm a big believer in alpha, and that's freaking amazing alpha, right? Any profit factor over one is profitable. Most people, I see a lot of people out there, running paid ads on Facebook, and I seen this other vendor out there. He was tooting their horn because they had a strategy that did 1.3 profit factor, 1.6 profit factor, and I'm like, I won't get out of bed for less than two, right? Like I don't touch data that doesn't give me wicked expectancy. So our job is to try to produce numbers that don't exist in the industry. Like, and they're selling these strategies for like $5,000, $7,000. I'm just like, how do people buy this shit? I don't understand. Anyways, I'm just ranting on. Like I'm giving you a little bit of my own personal opinion because I don't know. I just don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to the retail public, and I don't think it's fair. Like I just think that after slippage commissions and everything else that goes on, like the traders are breaking even, right? And not with this, not this. These systems are designed for different expectancy. And we invest heavily in those resources to provide alpha so that you as a trader don't buy garbage, right? Does that make sense? How many of you guys would agree that you can get down with what I'm saying? Hope so, unless you want to buy garbage and blow up your accounts, right? I'm not into that. Okay. So I think we've covered a lot. You have the indicator and you have the algo. Okay. Time for some freebies. Now, we're going to run a poll. We're going to run a link in here. Where's my team?
Just posted it.
Fantastic. So Jeffrey's posted the link here, guys. Click on that link and yeah, click on the link and fill out your information. We're going to give away a free license. Give you guys a chance to do that. I'll take some water and save my voice. Great. Now the goal here is we're going to pick a lucky winner. We'll give you some free licenses because like we just like to give back, right? Type of Y in the chat box that you guys agree that you enjoyed the presentation, that this was something that was worth coming to. I hope that you enjoy these webinars. We try to put them on and do a lot, right? A lot of work goes into this stuff. Making sure just our team is awesome. Thank you to my team. I know I come in here and do all the trading and all that stuff, but there's a lot of people that behind the scenes that are pulling a lot of strings to make sure that you guys get a lot of fancy, cool gadgets to play with. Hopefully, if you guys are new in here, you're going to stick around now because you're going to find the right home. That's in trading, it's about finding the right place, right? Absolutely. Great. Fantastic. All right, let's winner chicken dinner. Jeff, if you want to pull a winner, let's see who's got lady luck on your side.
Okay, the winner is LT.
LT or Alti?
I think it's LT,
You type it in the chat box.
and the email is skisg2, if that helps. I think I
Is he
know who this
here?
is. Al Tong.
Al Tong. Al Tong. Good job, brother. You won. Amazing. Al, congratulations, brother. You just won this awesome piece of software. So hopefully everybody's happy for Al. I'm a big believer of congratulating winners, right? I'm a big believer of passing on greatness and the karma that comes with it. We all win some days. We're not going to win every day, but every day's got a different day, right? So good job, guys. Positive reinforcement to those that win. Hey, Al, you must have deserved it, brother. The big guy upstairs says today's your day. Congrats. Okay. So I'm a big believer of just one of the things that we do when we price products, just so you understand, is a lot of people ask, like, what's the cost of the tools? When a tool costs us more money to develop it, we price it more appropriately. Like if it cost me more time, more human beings, more testing, more QA, then we will normally raise the price to be in accordance with the development costs of that tool. When the tool does not cost me as much to build it, I don't need as much manpower, it doesn't take as much time, then basically I can reduce the cost. The nice thing about this algo is it didn't take us as much time to develop as, say, some of the other more complex indicators or algos. What that means is I was able to give bigger discounts. So the pricing for this is a little bit more affordable than some of our other products. How many of you guys would agree that that's awesome, right? Who doesn't like saving a bit of money? This one is actually going to be slightly less than some of our other products because it's less, right? So I'm all about transparency. We share openness about that. So I'm going to share with you guys the prices, and then you guys can let us know if you're interested in buying it. We'll give you the links and we'll get through that. Okay. So let's start with the indicator. Okay. No, it works on every product, right? Every market in the platform. If you have a data feed, it works, right? So we have data for stocks, futures, Forex, and crypto. So you can trade the entire world technically on this. Yeah. And you can come on Friday to ultimately learn how to set up the software so that you can do it on any other asset class. Yeah. Great. So let's talk about the indicator. Okay. The indicator. Okay. The indicator is ultimately a one-time license. This is just for the signals. It comes with documentation. We will install it for you. You will get access to the strategy class with the Algo guys, right? And it also comes with the community and the platform, and everything. So it's only $3.99 for the indicator. So if you want to use the indicator, okay, you can basically buy the indicator. It expires in 24 hours, so the coupon's only good for today. And basically that's it, right? So normally it's this, right? And we basically drop it down to this, right? So that's it for the indicator. And for the algo, the key about the algo is the algo engine comes with the software. So normally the algo would be 895. Normally it's 10 grand. We always drop on the launches down to about 1,000. And we drop this down to 645. So this this is a badass. Like this is very, very, very inexpensive for the algos. And it comes with the algo engine. It comes with the flip and rip system. All of the templates, we've pre-built those templates. So those templates that we showed you that made a lot of money, you will get those. You do not have to build them. They come with it. That is more valuable than anything, is having those pre-built templates. Now, anybody that's new in here, just know that we have training documentation. You have a user manual. We'll log into your computer and we can install it for you and help you get set up. And then Friday, we have basically an AMA. Now, Pete, are you in here?
Yeah,
Pete, you here?
yes, I am.
Is there a discount if they buy both?
No,
Okay, there wasn't a coupon if you buy both.
there wasn't one for a combination.
No, because we don't have the combo built in there. We already have the discounts built in for the drop. We've already dropped them 50% on both the second drop. So the reason is the software can't be bundled on the checkout process. So it's better to just buy them individually at the discount. Yeah. Okay. So this is the algo cost, right? So basically, is this the coupon here?
Yep, that's
Is
the
that the
one.
That's the coupon. So that's the coupon, guys, right there on the checkout. So I don't think, did we put the link in here? Can we put the link for the indicators and the algos? There it is. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, so let's talk about the training. The training is Friday. It says Thursday. I don't know why it says Thursday. Is it Friday or Thursday, Jeff? Because I'm confused. My calendar had it on a different day.
It's on Friday.
Okay, so it's Friday the 14th. Is that the
That's the
14th?
15th.
15th. Okay, so that's the wrong day. 15th. My mistake, guys. And what's the time? Eastern?
Sorry, let me look. I think it's at 11 Eastern. Let me look. 11 Eastern.
Okay, so that was a mistake here, guys. My apologies. It's 11 a.m. Eastern. But you have it tomorrow at 2. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was tomorrow at 2. Yeah, I thought. Are you mistaken on that, Jeff? It got moved? Can you check with? I don't think it's on Friday. That's what I thought.
It's on my calendar. It's, I'll find out.
Yeah, we'll send an email, guys, with the AMA. It's
Mine
Yeah.
shows it on Friday also.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's on Friday. So it's
what I
probably
have it.
wrong, Mahesh. Yeah. Yeah, it's Friday. So if it might just been a mishap on the PPT, but that's fine.
It's unusual because we usually do it the next day, but there was some
Yeah.
kind of a scheduling conflict or something.
Yeah. So Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, guys. We're going to be going over both the tools, right? We're going to be going over all of it. We're going to show you how to backtest, optimize. We're going to show you how to turn it on for live trading, answer all your questions, going over everything, right? Absolutely. Yeah. Great. Now, let's just leave it on here. I'm going to run a poll here, guys, because there's a lot of traders in here and we want to be able to help you guys. So as always, if you guys can do me a favor, and if you guys are going to be buying this, I need to know. It's a hard yes or a hard no, guys, because we have to send you the links. We need to send you the strategy templates, the logins for everything around the deployment of this. We also need to give you the coupons by email, send you the recordings, and we also need to send you the invite to the AMA. So if you're going to be coming to the AMA and you're going to be doing all this, I need to know if you're buying the system. Now, the reason we do these polls is because we need to help you. If you don't answer the poll, we can't help you. So if you're buying the trend trading system and you're going to buy the signal generator, just put a yes in the poll. If it's a no, it's fine. We understand not everybody's buying everything at every given time. But if you are going to invest in this tool set, if you can please put a yes in the chat in the poll, that would be very much appreciated on our part because it helps us. Now, if you would like to speak to our team before purchasing, if you have other questions, or let's say, you want to go over the, your specific situation or whatever it is, fill in your name or your phone number here. There's a number 2 gives you opportunity to answer. And Jeff, one of our instructors, he's going to call you right after this event. So don't go on a vacation today. Like we only have so much time today to make sure you get the discount. So make sure that you put your phone number and Jeff will call you literally after this presentation, like within the next hour. So make sure you fill in your name and do that. Now, please note that if you don't put the right information in this poll, you might not get the emails. You might not get the right information. So if you're planning on buying, please help us out. Now, we only have about 40% of you have answered the poll. So please do me a favor. It's either yes or no, guys. It's a really easy decision. It's either yes or no. And if it's a yes, put a yes. If it's a no, put a no. And that way we can send you everything we can. Yeah, let's talk about the maintenance fee for a second. Yeah, and Larry, if it's a no, it's a no. Brother, come to all of our presentations and then someday you'll find something that you absolutely love and you want, and we'll have a discount on that for you too. Right? It's all about timing, and through the process, we can help you and we can educate during that process. So let me just do this, guys. I want to talk about this little section down here. We don't put the fine print on our website buried so that nobody sees it. We put it front and center so everybody understands it. The Tickblaze Marketplace is like Apple App Store. There's a lot of apps. There will be more. I promise you by the end of this year, there'll probably be double. So what does that mean? Well, it costs us a lot of money to maintain the platform and a lot of money to maintain the apps. And most companies will charge an annual maintenance fee for whatever you buy. Well, that's pretty expensive. If you end up buying a lot of apps, which most people do, a lot of people buy more than 5, 10 indicators in a year, or 3 or 4 strategies, right? We could be charging you a maintenance fee on each product, but we don't. We have one maintenance fee for the entire store, which means if you buy more than one product, you get the maintenance fee covers all of those products. So it's very inexpensive for you to keep all of the tools up to date, right? So that's the goal. The goal is that we have a very minimal maintenance fee. You get your first year free. So even if today is your first time buying, you don't pay a maintenance fee until next year. I mean, it's pretty amazing. We pretty much give you the huge discount, and we give you a year free for the maintenance fee. I mean, it's free is good, right? So the sharpshooter says, what's the difference between the flip and rip algo and the flip and rip signal? The signal just plots dots on your chart to show you if you're a manual trader. The algo executes the strategy for you. It gives you all the engine. It basically does the automated trading. Sharpshooter, yeah. Yep. Great. No, no, we do not connect to TradeStation, Michael. Yeah, we do not. We have integrations. If you want to know where we integrate to, so if you want to go to tickblaze.com, and if you want to understand the brokers and everything that we integrate with, you can just go to B2B integrations. Okay, go to here, B2B integrations here. And so if you come down here, here's all the bridges. So we do integrate with CQG or Rhythmic. So what this means, okay, this means that all of the brokers that use CQG and Rhythmic for futures, okay, if you go here for futures, it's here. These are your brokers. So if you're going to have a futures trading account, these are all the brokers that you can have an account with, and we can support. So if you have an account with AMP Futures or Plus 500 or Edge Clear or Iron Beam or GFF or Phillip, right? Whatever that is, yeah, we can support it. And because all of these brokers use CQG or Rhythmic to clear. If you want to use a multi-asset, we work with Interactive Brokers. Okay. Now, we do have plans in the future to integrate TradeStation. That is something that we are doing. Why? Because we are adding an options chain to the platform. So that will require, we want to work with TradeStation and Interactive Brokers. So that's really cool. So the goal is in the future, we will support them, right? And for stocks, Interactive Brokers, right? Why? Because they allow for advanced order execution, right? Interactive Brokers is the biggest multi-asset broker. TradeStation is a good broker. Michael, I know the guys over there well. It's just we don't have the integration built yet. It's on our roadmap and it will be built. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but I'm just letting you know for now that's where we're at, right? So it's we do our best. We strive to have as I mean, that took us years to get all that done. Trying to make sure it gets done. Cool. So, guys, we got a lot of people have answered the poll. Some people are sleeping under a rock. That's fine, but some people said no. Hey, we got a lot of tools. If someday down the line you like one of them, we hope that we can help you with those. And for those of you that are excited about everything, I'm just excited to be here. Thanks for letting me do a presentation with you guys. And I just want to thank everybody for giving me time out of your day. And yeah. Now, let me kind of explain some things. We have a couple last minute questions. We just launched the Tickblaze web platform. Okay, so let's talk about the web trader. Okay, the web trader, okay, is different. Okay, it's a different platform. So let's go in here and let's bring it up. So the Tickblaze web trader, okay, thanks, Dan. So the Tickblaze web trader is not sure why. There we go. This is TradingView's charts. We've partnered with TradingView and we have the web platform available. Okay. So this is ready, Craig. The web trader is ready. The web platform, you can get it through a prop firm. The only way you can get it is through the prop firms that we support. Eventually, we will allow the platform to be sold on the web, but the only way to get it is through Prop Shop Trader or Elite Trader funding right now. We're launching with Blue Sky at the end of the month. And then the copier will be ready this week. The copier is being added. They're just doing a few last minute testing, and then the copier will be here. So you'll be a button that says copier, and you'll be able to use the trade copier as well. So the copier will be ready very, 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 very soon. Let's talk about indicators. So on the Tickblaze website, you go to tickblaze.com and you go to the shop page. Okay. You go to shop. These are all the tools. We got a lot of tools. Not all of them are coming into the web. Why? And some of them can't be built into the web and some of them can. And so we're going to be running, no algos will run on the web. The algo platform is strictly desktop. So today's product is specifically for the desktop. We will be sending out an email very shortly, and we're going to be giving a poll to the list to see who wants what product on the web and which ones they're being used and which ones are not, because our development team is not going to be bringing all of the marketplace products into the web. We need to know which ones and why, right? And so we're gonna send an email out and we're gonna rank them, and it's gonna be based off of our community. And we will be charging a secondary license fee at a discount. There will be a fee for you to add the indicators to the web. It will be less, so you're not having to pay full price for multiple licenses. It's our way of giving a discount to existing customers, but there will be a fee because we have to literally develop all the software again for another platform. So, but if you want the products on the web, we don't know which ones we're going to be bringing over first, second, and third. So we're going to send a poll to the audience, and everybody will fill that out, and then we'll let the data support the development of our expansion. Make sense? So watch for the emails, and then we will give you guys details on that. And then once the development kicks off, we'll bring the products into the web. For now, you can use all of the tools that are inside of TradingView inside the web, which is great. And then you can use the desktop for advanced algos and indicators on the Tickblaze desktop platform. Yeah. Does that make sense, traders? Great. Yeah, we are recording it, so don't you worry. We are recording it. Great. So we're going to end the poll. Jeffrey, can you just announce your callbacks? Let people know what to expect.
Yeah, keep an eye on the area code. If it's a 708 area code, then that's me.
That's correct, Michael. Yeah, 708 area code. Yeah, unless you're a prop trader, you won't be able to use the web. We will be changing that eventually. Yeah, it'll be open for the retail public to connect to brokers. We just haven't finished coding the adapters. Yeah. Well, the adapters will take time to develop, so there's no use case for it yet. You wouldn't be able to place trades into a broker right now. It's not finished. Yeah, but it is finished for prop. Yeah. Great. So we've covered a lot. Hopefully you guys learned a lot. And watch for Jeffrey's calls. Watch for the emails. You have till tonight to purchase at the discount. So make sure you buy today, right after the event, because if not, you're going to miss out on the coupon. You're not going to get access to the sale. So I look forward to seeing you guys in the events, guys. Take care, traders. And yeah, we'll talk to you in the next one. Have a great afternoon. Oh, the coupon didn't work, he said. Maybe which coupon? For the signals or for the... Which coupon, Michael? For the algo or for the signals? The algo, you have this here. FNRAL GO 250. If you have any issues with purchasing, maybe you can just send an email into support@Tickblaze. You're good? Perfect. Fantastic. All right, guys, if anybody needs any help, just shoot us an email, support@tickblaze.com, and we'll get you squared away. Take care, traders, and have a great afternoon.